Hello, everyone. A very good evening to all of you, and welcome in the session of motivation. Now, in last session of motivation, we have discussed about the different types of employees and how they feel motivated. Right? We've discussed about the employees like the free spirit employees who feel motivated when they're not being micromanaged, they are being given the work to do alone without any supervision. Then we have talked about the creators, who are the innovators, who are the creators, who just work for discovering new things. They cannot stick to same old routine of doing the work. They want something new, something creative to be done every day. Then we have talked about the experts who are just super brilliant, super talented, having in depth and detailed knowledge about each and everything related to their stream, related to their field. Like they are such an expert that they know that if we are talking about if anyone asks them any question related to the field, even if it is some. And then we have talked about the money hunters, the directors, star performance, friend seeker, and the stable employees. So these were the very many different types of employees which are found in each and every organization. They are not organization specific, but they are the one who are found wherever we go. Like even if the organization is having 20 employees, we can find them there also. If the organization is having thousands of employees, hundreds of employees, we will find these kind of employees working in each and every organization. Now in today's session we are going to talk about the different types of motivation. The first one, we will be talking about the intrinsic motivation. Now, we all know about the intrinsic motivation, that intrinsic motivation is something which comes from within. As we can see the picture truly depicts that it is something which is coming from inside us. It is coming from within the employees. It has nothing to do with what organization is offering, what the employer is giving, what the employee is giving, what the manager is offering, what benefit we are getting from the organization if we are achieving any kind of task. It has nothing to do with those things. It is something which motivate us from within. We ourselves are motivating ourselves to do something. That is known as intrinsic motivation. So basically, when we are going to discuss about intrinsic motivation, the types of intrinsic motivation, we'll be discussing about six different types of intrinsic motivation. But before going to intrinsic motivation, I want you to understand one thing, that each and every employee, each and every individual, each and every person is somewhere at some point of their life is motivated by the intrinsic motivation, by their inner self. It can be in sense of competition, it can be in the sense of creativity, it can be in the sense of achievement. It can be anything, but yes, each and every individual, irrespective of whether he or she is working in the organization, irrespective of whether he or she is working into the corporates, each and every person is motivated through intrinsic motivation. In motivation, internal as well as external factor both plays a very important role. Both are important in the organization. So now if we are going to discuss about intrinsic motivation, the first type of intrinsic motivation is competence motivation. What it is? It is the competence motivation. What is competence motivation? Now this term doesn't seems to be a very new term, right? It is something which is uh same, right? So if we talk about competence motivation, we have been hearing about this competency. Competence means competing with someone, like competing with your fellow employer, that he knows something new, so I also want to learn that thing, I also want to know that thing. So that is known as competence motivation. So if we talk about competence motivation, it is driven by curiosity, willingness to know more or have some skills. It is, from inner sense we get the curiosity, we get the willingness, we want to know more, we want to learn new skills, we want to gain new knowledge, we want to, we want to have that new knowledge. So it is driven by curiosity and the willingness to know more and have some skills. So let's say you are sitting in a group with your colleagues, and you find that my subordinate or new joinee, he knows many things, he knows new skills. So you just get curiosity, just get that curiosity, that willingness, that I also want to learn that new skills. That is competence, because you are competing with other person. So when you are competing in competence motivation, what basically you are doing, you are learning new things, you are driving yourself towards learning new things, learning new skills, gaining new knowledge, upgrading yourself. Basically you can say what you're doing, you're basically upgrading yourself from time to time, seeing the scenario, seeing the situation, seeing the market, seeing the demand of the market. Because you all know that whatever you, let's say you have studied something today, and after 5 years, if you are not going to upgrade yourself, you won't be upgrading yourself in your career as well. Because from time to time there is upgradation in each and every field, whatever you are choosing, whether it is engineering, it is commerce, CA CS, it's doctorate, whatever you are doing, there is new skills. If we talk about teaching, there are also new skills which have been adopted. Like earlier we used to have the uh, black and white combination, black and white concept, but now that is fading away. Now it's all about technology, using the projectors to teach. So each and every teacher need to upgrade themselves. They cannot just sit and say that no, in our entire life we have not studied, we have not used the laptop, we have not used the projectors, we don't know how to use. No, you have to learn. And some learns that thing forcibly, some do that thing willingly. And when people are doing that thing willingly, they are upgrading themselves, they are learning new things willingly, that is known as competence motivation. So it is the motivation which is also known as learning motivation. So I don't think I need to explain why it is known as learning motivation. Right, you all know why it is known as learning motivation, for because what exactly you're doing, you are curious to learn new things, and then you're learning those things. Once you develop that curiosity of learning new things, of knowing new things, you start learning that thing. So basically this competence motivation can also be known as the learning motivation. Promotion happens because of the skills gained. It is a plus, but was not the primary goal. Right. Promotion are happening because of the skills which you are developing, which you are learning. It is always a plus point. Though it might not be the primary goal, it might not be the primary reason for giving you the promotion, but definitely it is always an add-on advantage. Like, when we are going for the interview, we see it plays many times it is written. Let's say you are going for a client facing job. So what do you think, there at times you will see that it's written that a person should know English and Hindi. Kannada is an add-on advantage, is going to be a plus point, right? Knowing the third language is an add-on advantage. So what is happening, what they're doing, so basically what they're doing is, basic requirement for hiring you is knowing English and Hindi. But if I have two candidates, who are on the same position, whose evaluation is same, and one of the two candidates knows Kannada. So I'm going to select that person because he is having an add-on benefit. So that is what is known as maybe. Promotion does not depend upon upgrading the knowledge, learning new skills, but definitely it is the definitely it is one of the plus add add-on advantage of doing the work of getting the promotion. So maybe not the primary, but definitely it is the secondary goal. Now, what is the example of competence motivation? If we talk about the example of competence motivation, example of competence motivation is when an employee spare his free time to learn something like a new skill. It can be a salesperson who's learning new sales techniques or a designer learning a new framework. So what do you think? Let's say a salesperson is doing very good, he's doing extraordinary, always he's achieving the target, or maybe you can say he is always ahead in his target, he's always achieving more than his target, but he's learning new skills because he want to do more better in the job. That is, he's learning a new skill, he is motivated, he is intrinsically motivated by competence motivation. So that is known as competence motivation. Next, the second type of motivation is creative motivation. Creative means something different, something new. Yeah, I'm going to hold my hair like there's a creative person. So no, let me just hold, let me just take a curve and let me hold my ear from back. I'm being creative. Is it so? Creativity simply means doing something in a different way which is not commonly used by other person. That is being creative. So yes, it is most common type of motivation, creative motivation, which most of the people are motivated with. Creative motivation is often to be promoted by a sense of wanting to say or express something. So yes, definitely, it is a motivation where the people want to express, want to share new things, want to uh, express something which is running in their mind, which is not an ordinary course of action, which is not an ordinary thing which is followed by many people. It is something which is different. It is something which is not commonly adopted by a lot of people. That is known as creative motivation. It could be in the form of words, art, song, business, production, but it always starts from trying to express oneself. You know, it can be in anything. It can be in the way you are working. It can be the way you take the decision. It can be the way you promote your business, the different marketing techniques, the different sales techniques, the different production techniques, the different way of planning, executing, the different ways of working. It can be anything. But whatever it is, the first and the foremost step of creative motivation is it always starts with trying to express yourself. Yeah. Until unless the person is not going to express himself, the person are not going to show interest, not going to show faith. He need to express himself. He need to share whatever is running in his mind. So that is known as creative motivation. So example of this kind of motivation is the urge to write a book or a poem, even if it doesn't get to the end of the earth or doesn't get published. There is always the fulfillment of penning those sentiment into words. So it is not, creative motivation doesn't mean that your ideas, your creativity is going to be accepted by the people around you, it's going to be accepted by the management, it's going to be accepted in the meeting, whatever it is. It is just the satisfaction. It's all about the satisfaction which a person gets by accomplishing, by fulfilling his creativity, no matter, irrelevant of whether he's achieving the success or not. So here it says that let's talk about a person who wants to write a book. Even if he just writes his sentiments on the piece of paper in the book, and even if no one reads those sentiments, the book is not getting published, he'll be satisfied. He'll be happy that yes, he could do whatever he was willing to do. That that is the way he is going to achieve his competence motivation. He's not going to be saying that no, I've not achieved my motivation because the book didn't got published. I couldn't bring the book to the end, or no one read the book. It is irrelevant of these things. It's only that if he was able to write the sentiments, then it is done. The third type of intrinsic motivation is achievement motivation. The happiness of achieving something, and this achievement motivation is something which all of us have come across once in our life. So, if we talk about achievement motivation, it aims to achieve a goal just for personal development. You want to achieve something, you want to get something for your own development, not for the organization, not for your family, not for your society, not for the people around you, but you want to achieve something because that is going to give you the satisfaction, that is going to make you feel happy. So that is known as achievement motivation. So it aims to achieve a goal just for our own personal development. Here, the focus. See, in creative motivation, what was the focus? If I was able to fulfill my creativity, or if I was able to express my creativity to other person, the person was happy that yes, I have achieved creative motivation. In achievement motivation, it is exactly the same. A person is doing something for himself, not for others to notice, not for others to make them feel happy. No, whatever he is doing it for himself, right? That is known as achievement motivation. It could be a particular title in a company or position in the society, but do not focus on being awarded monetarily. Then achievement motivation is the drive. He wants to be the manager, he wants to be the team leader, he wants to be the, let's say in the society there is a group and he wants to be the one of the member of that active group, he want to be the president, he want to be the secretary, whatever it is, but he is not looking forward for that opportunity, for that thing, just for the sake of getting some monetary rewards. He is not doing that for the purpose of getting the monetary rewards. He is doing that because he just want to get that position in the organization, in the society, or in the family. So it could be anything. It could be right from a title, getting a title in the company. It can be just as simple as the best employee of the week, best employee of the month, or the best employee of the quarter. That also acts as an achievement motivation for the employee. It can be just any simple thing, but yes, definitely it has nothing to do with the monetary rewards. It has nothing to do with the money. This motivation propels the motivated person to feel worthy when the feat is achieved. This motivation is propelling the motivated person. This motivation is, you know, getting the motivated person to feel worthy because he has achieved something. He was able to achieve something. The example for this kind of achievement motivation is these are the greatest athletes in the world are passionate about what they do. They want to be best and write their names in the history. Person who's trying new, let's say a person who is doing an extraordinary dance performance, not to be benefited in terms of monetary rewards, but just want his name to be recorded in the Guinness Book of World Record or maybe Indian Book of World Record. That is his achievement. A person running in the race, for him, he's not running in the race because he just want to get some trophy, some monetary reward. No, he just want that my name should be written in the school book saying that I could run for 10 kilometers in just a span of time. So whatever it is, they just want their name to be remembered. They just want that people should remember their name for the achievement which they have done, for the things which they have achieved, and that is known as achievement motivation. The fourth type of motivation is attitude motivation. Impossible or it's possible. It's impossible or I am possible. It is all depends upon your attitude towards looking the thing. And these are the person who always have a positive attitude, who always look around the things with a different perception. They always want, they're always willing to bring some changes, some good changes in the society. So for them, if a person comes and say this is impossible, they say, what did you say it is impossible? But I think it is saying I am possible. That is what they feel like. That is what they have believe on. So it's all about the attitude a person carries, and these are the person who carries their own different style, own different attitude of seeing the world, dealing with the world, doing something for the society, doing something for the people around them, and they just are willing to make the surrounding, to make the world a better place to live in, and that is what how they show their attitude motivation. They are not the ordinary people who are just running with the crowd. If people are saying, let's say 20 people are saying no, it is not possible to teach this these group of people will come and say, who said it is impossible? It is possible. They just try to bring that change in those people, and that is their attitude. So, this type of motivation is based on the willingness to change the world, make something good, or help people. So, it can be anything. It is their act can be for bringing some kind of change in the world. And that change, when I'm talking about the change in the world, that is bringing some positive changes in the world, making something good, or helping the people. So, that is known as attitude motivation. So this motivation is something which comes from within. No person can motivate you with this attitude motivation. It is your own style, it is your own attitude which is coming from your inner sense. It is not coming from any of the outside sources, any of the outside people, your surrounding, your organization, your colleagues, your family. No one is bringing this kind of motivation. It is, can people teach you to help others? No. It is something which comes from within. Same way, attitude motivation is something which is coming from within. It is also comes from culture, education, and other aspects of his personality. Yes. You belong from a family which is deeply involved in doing social work, who is deeply involved in working towards imparting the education to the poor side of the society. So, whatever you are seeing, the personalities you are seeing in front of you, you get that thing within yourself, you get that thing inherited. So yes, it depends on the surrounding in which you are living. Let's say you are with a group of people who are very much involved in doing all these kind of social activities. So now slowly your attitude will also change towards the society, and you'll see that yes, you have also started involving yourself in these activities. So yes, definitely we can say that it comes from the social, it comes from the culture, your education, and the other aspects of your personality, or with the people with whom you are living. So the last point says it doesn't matter what people will say, how they feel. A person sees something that is wrong and want to fix, help, or change it. So here, this kind of person is least bothered, least interested in thinking that what the people are going to think about me. If I'm going to do this work, what the people are going to say, what the people are going to talk. They do not know that thing. So here it says that here they are, they are least bothered about the thinking of the people. For them, what matters is what is running in their mind, what they are thinking. If they think I have to work in this way, if they think I have to do this thing, for them that is only right, and they are going to do that work only. That is their attitude of dealing with the things. So the line which we say, no, वो चार लोग क्या कहेंगे, वो चार लोग क्या सोचेंगे, they are least bothered about those four people who are going to talk rubbish, or who are going to talk negative about them, who are going to provoke them, who are going to stop them. They are the people who are self-made people. If they've decided something to do, if they decided they're never going to accept anything wrong in front of them, they will always stand for them. They'll always stand for the right, no matter whatever happens. So, for example, helping an old woman to carry her shop bags way back home, regardless of the day's stress and tiredness. There is no tangible reward to it, but an attitude motivation sponsors the feeling of helping someone. You know, if I'm helping someone, I know I'm not going to get anything in return. I'm not going to get any money in return, but the satisfaction which I'll get, that yes, today I did something. I helped an old woman to carry the stuff. I helped a person to cross the road. I helped a child. I just gave food to a small child. You know, that is going to give happiness. I just saw a boy lying on the ground. He was needing help, and I just went there and I helped him out. I helped a child to find his parents. I helped an old woman to reach back home. doing these things, the small small activity for the society, not for your own benefit, not for expecting something in return, but these small activities are something which is going to give them happiness, and that is what is known as attitude motivation. Attitude motivation is directly related to the sponsoring the feeling of helping someone. It is all about providing the helping hand to the people. So that is what is known as attitude motivation. The fifth type of motivation is affiliation motivation. Now, what is affiliation motivation? It is the feeling of belonging to a group or society, being accepted is ignited by affiliation motivation. So it means, affiliation motivation is something which says that yes, I am affiliated to this group of people. I belong to this specific group of people that motivates them. Let's say, Anna needs to make money, but she also wants a meaningful thing with her life. Two different employers are offering her job. So Anna is a person who's looking for a job, who wants to earn a good amount, but along with that, she's looking for something where she do something meaningful for her life. So right now at this position, she is having two options. She is having two choices. One is company A, that is a very well known company, and they make very good money. They pay very good money. They are offering a very handsome salary to Anna. Second is company B. They can just pay her a decent money, but the company mission also includes supporting the community and group volunteering. So here, when Anna is motivated by affiliation motivation, like when she wants to be with such group of people who are doing something for the society, he just want to do something for the society, but along with that, she also wants to earn a handsome salary. She also wants to earn a good amount. So for that purpose, what she is going to do, what do you think, which company is offering her to accomplish, to achieve the affiliation motivation? What do you think? Which company is doing that? See, if you're going to read the first sentence, it says that she wants to earn money, and company A is saying that yes, definitely, I'm going to pay a handsome salary. Right, she's saying that I'm going to pay a handsome salary. We are going to pay you a good package, right? But is it fulfilling her affiliation motivation? No, it's not fulfilling her affiliation motivation. So she is going to go with the option B, where though she is getting a decent package, but along with that, she'll be belonging to a group of people who are working towards benefiting the society, towards benefiting the community. So this is the fifth type of intrinsic motivation, and the last type of intrinsic motivation is psychological motivation. Psychological motivation focuses on satisfying basic psychological needs, that is air, food, water, sleep. If you remember the theory of motivation, we have discussed about Maslow's need hierarchy theory, and under Maslow's need hierarchy theory, we have talked about the basic needs, that is psychological need. Every person is willing to fulfill the basic psychological need. Basic needs means the need to food, shelter, proper sleep, water. He should at least fulfill the basic needs of himself as well as for the family. That is known as psychological motivation. And yes, psychological motivation is again one of the motivation which pushes a person to find better job opportunities for himself. So that is known as psychological motivation. So it just focuses on fulfilling the basic needs of food, shelter, air, water, sleep. This is the basic needs without which we cannot survive. Can we survive without air, food, water, or sleep? Can we survive? Can we expect a life? Can we just think of a life where we are just sitting on the any place where we do not have a proper shelter for us as well as for a family? No. So every person work towards getting those, fulfilling those basic needs for the family, and that is what is known as psychological motivation. The primary need of the life, the main goal for them is to survive. So they are motivated by this need because here their main goal, their only goal is they just want to survive. They're just looking for those basic things which will help them to survive in the world, to survive a better, not a good life, but at least a better life where they can feel they are having the basic needs which are required to live a life. So the reward might not be always tangible, but it is always felt. This maybe the reward which they're dating, they cannot see that reward, but obviously every time they can feel that reward from within, that yes, we have achieved that thing. That is known as psychological motivation. Now, with this, we have finished with all the types of intrinsic motivation. Now, next, what we are going to start in the next session is the types of extrinsic motivation. What do you mean by extrinsic motivation? As the word says, extrinsic, external factor, external, intrinsic, inside, external, extrinsic. The things which we are getting, which we are expecting from the surroundings. In simple words, you can say you're expecting something from the surrounding, and that is known as extrinsic motivation. So this you cannot fulfill by yourself. This you cannot get by yourself. It is something what you are going to get, what you're going to fulfill through the external factors only. Like this is the thing which only the organization can fulfill. Right, only the organization can give you that. Like it can be the monetary rewards, it can be the promotions, it can be the power, like making you a team leader, making you a project head. It can be creating a kind of fear in yourself to make you do, to make you achieve something in your life, and that is what is known as extrinsic motivation. In the next session of motivation, we are going to discuss about the what are the different types of extrinsic motivation, because every employee is motivated by intrinsic as well as extrinsic motivation. But intrinsic motivation is something which is there with each and every individual, but extrinsic motivation will be there with the people who are working in the organization, or who are having their own establishments. For them, the extrinsic motivation is going to work, which will help them. Basically, the extrinsic motivation is going to help the organization to increase the productivity of the employees. Right, so with this, we have come to the end of the session. We'll start with the next session, that is conflict management, in next 5 minutes. Bye bye. Have a good day.